Something we often love to do is engage in an activity that enables us to lose ourselves. It could be anything. It could be skiing or walking, it could be driving or baking. There are so many different activities, and I'm sure you have your own preferred ones for just completely losing yourself in that activity. And that's a very interesting concept. What does it mean to lose yourself? Well, what is it you are losing? One thing you're losing is the sense of time. Quite often when you are just caught up in the moment, you lose track of time. You think of yourself as a child, you think of your own children, and how they completely lose track of time when they're engaged in certain activities. What else do you lose? You lose a sense of being judged, of your appreciation of yourself being relative. It's no longer about how you feel judged or appreciated, and simply just about how you're doing in the activity itself. And so what is it? Why do we call it losing ourselves? Well, I think there's a reason that sort of almost effortless quality arises, and it's because you're no longer fighting a judgmental self, a relative self. You've dropped your ego. What you've really lost is your ego. You certainly haven't lost yourself, have you? So you're still completely present, in the moment, focused. It's really that you've entered flow, and a major aspect of flow is the dropping of the ego. We think the ego, some people would argue the ego is always there, but the fact is that when you're completely present, completely in the moment, you're not hearing a voice in the back of your head telling you, criticizing you. You're simply engaged in the activity, and it's just moving the way it should. You're just in the moment. That's flow. Wouldn't it be ideal if we could always be in flow, or we could always have access to it? A technique that would enable us to enter flow whenever we wanted. Well, various people do try and find a way to make that happen. Dr. Alan Watkins in his TED Talk talks about coherence, and he has a technique involving breathing, and he has an app and a little bit of technology to enable you to find what he calls coherence, which is a doorway to flow. Another obvious and natural way to approach the problem of flow is to meditate. Meditation reduces your reactivity, helps you understand where your ego turns up and where it doesn't. That condition of mindfulness, of mindful awareness, is actually really useful for lots of activities, and really useful for getting your ego out of the way. Of course, I'm going to tell you about the Zen effect, because the Zen effect, the ambitones, also seem to offer a very quick resource to get into flow, because they quieten the posterior cingulate cortex. They cause you to shift from thoughts about self, egoic thoughts, and into a much more present state of mind. Writers use it all the time because of just that. It stops you being critical and enables you to just generate ideas. And that's what you really want. In a state of flow, you don't want to be criticizing where you are. You want to be present where you are. You want to be able to move through your activity, through your space, through your imagination in as fluid a way as possible. And for some reason, the ambitones of the Zen effect appear to do just that. They enable you to deepen your sense of presence, deepen your awareness of the activity you're engaged in, and enable you to simply shift gears into a state of flow.